This product is watermarked with a permanent personal identification number. In the event of unauthorized distribution, sharing, or copying, this watermark allows the content provider to quickly and accurately identify the original purchaser. The unauthorized reproduction or distribution of this copyrighted work is illegal. Criminal copyright infringement, including infringement without monetary gain, is investigated by the FBI and is punishable by up to 5 years in federal prison and a fine of $250,000. All drills and exercises in this program are designed to develop fundamental skills. It is extremely important as an athlete or coach that you execute them with proper technique in order to avoid possible injury. To reduce the risk of possible injury, consult your doctor before beginning any exercise or skill development program. The producers, participants, and distributors of this program disclaim any liabilities or loss in connection with the information presented in this product.
I love clinics. I love sitting where you're sitting. I sat there for the first one ever in 1985 in Orlando, Florida. I'm from Miami, Florida. And I remember sitting there saying, wow, I know absolutely nothing about basketball. I've got a lot to learn. And I still don't know a lot. But I think I've gotten better at the philosophies that I've tried to create on how I think the game should be played. And that's what I try to share. We play defensively a little different than most people. I think Hug spoke some about his half-court man defensive concepts. My high school coach, who I then became his JV coach for 8 years, is where I learned the basics of how we teach man-to-man defense. And that's why one of the reasons in 1989, sitting where you guys are at, I was listening to Bob Huggins speak, and he had just gotten hired at Cincinnati. And some of the concepts that he was speaking about resonated with me because it's what I believed to be the way the game should be played defensively. So as things turn out, he ends up recruiting one of our guys. I'm the assistant coach at the high school. We hit it off, we build a friendship, and then I end up working for him. So I had these opinions on how we should teach the game, and then I go work for him and I see the way he teaches it, and I kind of have blended my high school coach, him, and I've created my own ways of teaching some defensive stuff. A lot of the drills that we do with our teams to this day and age has a lot to do with how I used to run a practice coaching high school basketball in 1986, 7, 8, and through the summer of 2000 when I left high school. I have not deviated from the drills or what we call them. I think I teach better now. I think we have to make certain adjustments because when you play college basketball and you play some of the people we have to go play, you can't rotate the same way that I used to teach rotations in high school. But in essence, here are the concepts that I believe in. I've heard a lot of coaches talk offensive basketball. I've coached in a lot of games. That doesn't make me smarter than anybody, but there's one thing I've never heard. I've never heard a coach ever call a timeout or speak about what to do to make their players dribble more. I've never heard that in my life. I've never heard any coach ever say, timeout, timeout. Why are you guys passing and cutting? I need you to dribble more. I've never heard that one. So since that's what aggravates us as coaches, people that dribble the ball, that makes us easy to, when our players dribble too much, it makes us easy to defend. Well, I want to think that way conversely. So then when we're on defense, I don't want you to pass and cut. I want you to dribble. If you dribble, you become easier to defend. It's the way I view it. Well, here's the problem. There were certain guys in high school that you can allow them to dribble the ball here, assuming they're scoring here, and you can still get away with it. Well, in college, some of the guys we got to go play against, if they catch the ball there and you let them bounce it one time, you're in trouble. So you have to make sure that you keep teaching and getting them to understand what you're trying to do. The biggest thing that we do is we do everything. Let me get 6 guys, three in black, 3 in white. I'm going to give you an idea of what I want the court to look like anytime you're bringing the ball up the court. I need white, you're on D. Let me get a guy in black as a point, as if you're coming this way. Let me get one guy foul line extended. Let me get the other guy foul line extended. The game is real simple. The game is real simple. On offense, you're always trying to get the ball between 2 defenders. If you're trying to get the ball around people, you're playing into the defensive hands. You're trying to space the defense so you can get inside the defense. Anything else you do, I believe, on offense is a waste of time. Defensively, you're fighting the other battle. You're doing everything you can to prevent the ball from ever getting between 2 of your guys. Anytime the ball gets between 2 guys defensively, you're fighting for your life on that possession. The hardest thing that I believe a basketball player has to do defensively is close out. It's the hardest thing. If you're closing out on me, it's pretty simple. Just get to me because I can't move. But if you're closing out on a guy that can play, it's hard. Hard to take away the shot and take away the drive when you're in a closeout. So I try my best to keep players out of closeouts. That doesn't mean we don't practice it. We practice it a lot. But I try my best in our strategy, what we try to create, to keep players out of closeouts. It's a lot easier to defend if you don't have to close out individually. The other thing we do is we believe in picking the ball up on the half-court line. We don't pick it up higher. We don't pick it up lower. Obviously, we're speaking about defense being set. Here's one thing I've learned. What we do works for me, works for people that believe in it. If you don't believe in it, it's not going to work for you. Jim Boeheim grabbed me. We played to go to the Sweet 16 2012. I was at K-State. And game ends, they beat us 6-7. Game ends, and he says, Frank, I got to spend time with you, man. You got to play some zone. And I said, thanks, Coach. We just lost. I'm not in the mood to have these conversations right now. But now we get away from the game. I called him, and we were working USA Basketball that summer. And we agreed to spend some time together at that camp that we were at. And he said to me, your man-to-man's real good. If you play some zone, it's going to help you. I said, Coach, every time I go zone, the other team makes a 3. I'm not real smart. I got to think things through to figure stuff out sometimes. And he says, has anyone ever made a 3 against your man? And I said, yeah, you just made some a couple months ago. He said, what you do? I said, I adjusted our man. He said, well, genius, do the same thing on your zone. Adjust the zone to the guy that's making the 3. And it's pretty simple. And that's, you know, it's helped us tremendously because it's like everything else. If you only got a fastball, it's just a matter of time before they hit it. So you got to make sure that you have a secondary pitch. So we've developed a zone that, it's not what I'm here to talk about today, that gives us the man-to-man principles, 3-point line and in, but off a zone look. But this is what we want. We sit right in that half-court line, and then where we want all our guys off the ball is we call, I believe Hugs must have spoken about this yesterday, on the line and up the line, okay? So that means that if the ball's there and that's your man, you want to get in the passing line, not near it, get in it, okay? Both of you guys, there you go. All right, now how do we play? Because I'm a big believer in drills. But if you just teach drills, your players will be drills. Your players will be great at drills. You have to teach the game within the drill. You got to make them understand what's happening. And then once you understand the foundations of a drill, utilize the drill to teach how teams are attacking you. Don't just do a drill like figure eights. My high school coach used to make us do figure eights. This is another thing, Hugs, just, you know, I get around him and I just have these epiphanies. He makes me think a lot. But he used to come see me run high school practice, and I used to run figure eight drills because my high school coach ran figure eight drills. So when Hugs hired me, he said, we're sitting around drinking Diet Cokes at 3 in the morning one night, and he said, I'm just curious, why would you run figure eights drill for so long? I said, because that's how I learned. I said, have you ever told your players when they catch the ball in the open court to pass and run around? And I said, no, I want them to go score. I said, so why would you have them do something that you're not going to ask them to do in a game? So I never, ever, ever have ever done a figure eight drill again. And I believe do drills that are going to help your players learn how to play the game. Don't do drills so you look good doing drills, because then your players don't get better at playing the game. Well, when we do this drill, we call it 3-on-3 wide. We build up into this. I'll give you some things here in a little bit, but I don't want to bog you down with we do a lot of one-on-one stuff. I'm going to show you some stuff here in a second, but I'm not going to bog you down with the one-on-one stuff. Here's what we want. We want your point guard, whoever it is, to look at that right there. Get that guy. And be aggressive. And I live my life on trust. I want to be around people I trust, and the people around me, I got to make sure they know that they can trust me at all times. That I will always have their back. Well, I try to coach my teams to be that way. So at the end of the day, guys that are freshmen, they come out here and they're like, man, that guy's real good. I can't guard him out there. And I'm like, why? Man, he's going to go by me. And I'm like, well, don't let him go by you. Fight. Put up a fight up there. I said, last time I checked, we're not in competition for the local one-on-one tournament at the YMCA. If we were, then I'd tell you to guard him at the top of the key. We're playing 5 against 5. You got teammates behind you. We're trying to disrupt the other team. We're not trying to protect you. We are trying to win through how we play. We're not here trying to make you look good. It's all about the team. So trust. So then what happens? As they learn, and we do all kinds of stuff to get, I'm a big believer, the smaller you are, the further out you better defend. Because if you get in a wrestling match, think about boxing and wrestling. If you're a little guy and you end up boxing or wrestling with a big dude in a small ring, you're in trouble because he's going to grab you. If you're in a big ring, you got to utilize that whole ring to maximize your speed, your agility, your ability to move. And that's what we try to do. We try to extend our defense. Now, don't get me wrong. The longer these guys are defensively, the better it is. We make a big deal about having centers. I love big guys. But you know what impacts a game defensively? Size at the guards. Because now it's hard to score and pass over the top of your guards, which passing becomes complicated. For the way we play, we want to contest every dribble, every pass, and every shot from the second you cross the half-court line. We want to pressure everyone when they're on offense. Pressure creates uncomfortable people, man. No one likes pressure. We all rather work at our own pace and be pushed to do things at a different rate. Well, we want to pressure people that we play against to play faster, to play under duress. So what we do is we want, your name? Bobby? And your?
Josh.
So I need Josh to say to Bobby, hey, Bobby, every time you come across this line, you and me gonna have one. And I ain't going anywhere. And understand this, Bobby, if you try to get me, my man's got my back right here. And if you decide to go this way, he's got my back right here. And now when Bobby's coming up the court, he's saying, okay, which way do I go? because he's sitting in the gap, he's sitting in the gap. So the game becomes about gaps. It's what it is. Now, the biggest mistake, I hear people talk about denying, they end up denying like this because they're worried about their man. Well, now all of a sudden, Josh, what just happened to this gap over here? Now that just, Bobby, real good. Now that just became really hard to guard for you. See, so it's all about trust. Now he's going to say to me, well, if I got Josh's back by being in that gap, I'm going to give up a layup on a back cut. Well, this is what you have to convince your players of. There's always another guy that has the other guy's back. Number two, to play this way as a coach, you see, I believe in basketball, short passes beat you, not long passes. Football's always worried about that 80-yard bomb. In basketball, short passes beat you. Ball reversals going bang, 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 gets your defense going from ball side to help side. That's why we reverse the ball on offense. That's why we pass it on offense and get the defense to switch sides. So as soon as one guy is late, you can attack it. That's what we're trying to do offensively. So we're going to make him dribble. And we're going to be in those gaps. Now let me get two more guys. Two on offense, two on defense. Just stand on the baseline. Nobody plays like this anymore, but I just want you to get a feel for it. Let me get a guy in that block, a guy in that block. Nobody plays like this anymore. I understand. Here's something else. When you do your shell drills, you got to teach it different ways. I used to always do shell drills the way Gary was doing his shell drill up here, where you got the two high guards, two guys foul line extended. Well, not too many people in college basketball play offense like that anymore. Most people are playing slots and corners like the NBA. Well, you do your shell drills like where people are going to attack your team and do them from there. And I'll show you what I mean by it in a second. But this is the old-fashioned basketball. All I want you to do is get a feel for what we're selling to our players. Now, here's the rule of thumb when guys are off the ball. You got to be in the line, up the line. You guys do the same thing those guys did. Then the second thing I tell our guys is the further away from the ball your man is, the closer to the ball you get. Then they'll ask me the great question. I believe as coaches, you better have an answer to their questions. If you don't, then they go home and they're like, he don't even know what he wants us to do. So you better have an answer. So when they say to me, how far off the body you want me? I say, as far as you need to be based on size and athleticism. What do I mean by that? Well, if I was in our practice right now, I tell you guys are too close to your man. That's what I was. There you go. Ball's in the back court. He's sitting right there. You mean to tell me if he throws a long pass from here to your matchup, as that ball's in the air, you can't cover 5-6 feet? I think you can, and it's what we try to do. We try to create this look. So now he's on the ball, they're denying the wings, and now my man right here, what's your name?
Marcus.
Marcus, got your name again? Huh? Dwayne. Marcus has Dwayne's back. So Dwayne's got Josh's back. Marcus has Dwayne's back. So now if for some reason Dwayne's man decides to back cut. Nuh-uh. I don't know what your man's going to do. Stay right there right now. He's got his back. It's what we're always trying to do. Now you have to teach how to guard back cuts. Because if you're going to get out and deny people are going to try and back cut you. Here's the great thing about playing defense this way, and I learned it from my high school coach because we did not have a shot clock in high school in Florida. And I don't know if anyone here remembers, there was a high school team in Miami at the time that had a kid named Chris Corciani. His son actually ended up playing for me in South Carolina. Well, in high school, Chris used to go to, his dad was the coach, they go to the old Phil Ford, North Carolina Four Corners. And he never missed a free throw, and it was over. And the four guys that were in the Four Corners all signed Division I scholarships. So it was an impossible guard. They go up 4-2 or 6-3, and he'd stand up, put his four fingers, and you were like in trouble. And that's what we had to beat to get out of the city. So this is where my high school coach came up with all this, and it's where I continued to do it to this day. So now we're all in line, up the line. You guys have each other's back. Well, when people are going to attack us on back cuts, now you got to teach your guys how to defend back cuts. You can't just say, hey man, you got to guard that. You got to teach what you want, and you got to teach them how people attack you to protect them. Well, the back cut, 9 times out of 10, the ball's got to be coming to you. So anytime you see the ball coming at you, I call it sit on the back cut. Because if I'm not looking to drive him, I'm looking to dribble it at you, then you should be sitting, starting to get closer to your man, but sitting on the back cut. That means you're not overly aggressive trying to deny. Okay? What do we teach? Anytime your man back cuts, Marcus, right? You snap your head. You've had a long day, brother? You're Dwayne. Jesus Christ, you guys are killing me. They've asked you to do all these drills for 2 days. Here I come. I can't get your guy's name right. Your name? Greg? All right, so Greg, Dwayne's over here denying. So your coach told you, preparing to come play us, hey, we're going to dribble at him back cut because Dwayne's going to get beat on the back cut. We got to release the pressure. So now what happens? So now, Greg, take your step up there, back cut, good. The guy on the ball, you guys remember, don't get mad at me if you're a football fan. Remember Buddy Ryan with the Eagles? He used to come after your quarterback and pummel him every play. And he'd press your receivers, and dare you to throw it deep. Dare you. Well, that's kind of what we like to do through ball pressure. Obviously, we can't whack this guy like we would on the football field, but Bobby, so you're good here in basketball. But we're going to pressure you hard, but we're going to force him to throw a high pass. You're always responsible for the high pass because of your ball pressure. We don't want you jumping and doing all that stuff. Your ball pressure, we want to force the long pass, and it's your job to protect the high pass. So now as I'm being aggressive on the ball and Greg cut my man Dwayne back door, we got to teach Dwayne what to do. Well, what we teach is real simple. I'm here. Come on, Greg. And as soon as I see I'm sitting on that back cut, I snap my head shoulder to shoulder, and I'm in a dead sprint looking for that bounce pass. He takes the high pass. The guy guarding the cut takes the low pass. We put our guys in countless drills over and over and over to teach them how to protect that back cut. The other biggest mistake I see when I get around, and I love watching practices, and I see folks that are trying to deny, is they're too close to their man. I made the mistakes too back in the day. And now they're bigs. What do we tell all our big guys? Well, protect the paint, protect the paint. So now what happens? His matchup flashes to the elbow. Come on. They make this pass, and they drop it on Greg for a layup. And then everyone's mad at him. So now he says, I'm not doing that anymore. So I'm going to stay down. Opens up the gap. Now he's exposed, trying to guard out here. So now he's getting driven. So before you know it, your whole defensive concepts fell apart. Not because you can't do it, but because you didn't teach something the right way to protect what you're trying to do. So we make sure that we're always on the line, up the line, and we're fighting hard to not let people catch. We're big on all our one-on-one drills, off the ball. Don't let people get in your body. I don't know if you guys can tell the way I'm built, but I didn't play receiver. I was a lineman. And you know what? When you're a lineman, what you don't want the other guy to get his hands on you. You're trying to punch and get him off of you so he can't get his hands on you. If they get their hands on you, they can move you to get what they want. Well, it's the same way here. Don't let him get his body in yours. Because, come on. If he let him get his body on you, now he can use you, cut. Now he can use you to get open. Go ahead. He cut, you went through. Now he can use you to make the entry pass. So you're working hard, and don't let him get in your body. Don't let him get in your body. Stay off the body. I used to teach high school. I learned this from Hugs. Post defense. I'd be in here hitting and knocking guys. Hugs is like, we're denying, which I believe in, so the guy's catching it further out on the floor. Don't get in a wrestling match. That's what the offensive post guy wants. He wants the wrestling match. Stay off his body. Stay up the line. Stay off his body. And so we teach that on every single cut. Let's go back to Bobby back here. So in essence, every time there's a dead ball, a free throw, a defensive rebound where they're not getting a run out, that's what I want him to see when he's coming across the court. That's what we're looking for him to see. So now, what happens? Teams do a lot of stuff, and I'm not telling you it's going to work for you. I know it works for me. I've seen everyone from Bill Self to Mike Krzyzewski and Boeheim. They just abandon high school coaches that you guys have never heard of. Abandon what they do offensively because they can't run what they run. So what do? They say, okay, you going to do that, Frank? All right, just flatten out. Flatten out. See, we don't, you guys don't flatten out. So stay in your passing line. All right? Now what happens? He's like, Coach, that's not working because their defense is not flat. So then they say, okay, next, run his worst perimeter defender. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, it's you right now, okay? Put him in a ball screen. Now you don't have backup no more. So you come on, that's you. And just space the court to the side. All right, so they run this middle ball screen on us. Now this is something that you got to work on if you choose to play this way. I guard this almost every year differently based on our personnel. For the last 2 years, we've had the best ball screen defense in the SEC. Why? Because people attack us with ball screens because they can't run offense against us. So we spend a lot of time on our ball screen defense. It's very important you comprehend that. Very important. You have to do drills. So when we drill stuff, we're going to drill this to make sure that our coverage is what it needs to be. And I can't run ball screen defense for you the same way I would run it for you. We've got to run our ball screen defense specific for the personnel. That's where you have to protect your players. Very important. Very important. So that's what we want him to look at. And here's what happens. Teams will come down. Remember what I said. I want them to dribble, not pass. So now your point guard comes down, and we play some good ones. I remember playing Texas. We were at K-State. DJ Augustine, pretty good player. Power forward, a guy named Dorian James, pretty good player. Damian James. Their center, humongous human being. I can't remember his name. Played for the Miami Heat. He was an Eclipse. He was so big. Their two guard, a guy named A.J. Abrams, who set the record in the Big 12 for three-pointers made. Their small forward was a guy that was just okay, named Kevin Durant. He was just okay. He was the weak link on their team. Well, DJ came down the court and went off the dribble, whatever they ran. He came down the court, and they were trying to run their stuff, and DJ made a three off the dribble early in the game. At the time, I was Hugs' assistant, and we were like, it's all right, let him do it again. Came down and made another one. It's okay, keep guarding. You know what he forgot? He forgot Durant, Damian James, Dexter Pittman, and A.J. Abrams were his teammates. They started standing around, ball screening for him, and he was getting his game off. He only made two the whole game. By the end of the game, we won because every shot he took was under duress because they were trying to score off the dribble and not get guys involved. We were, seriously, this is a true story. We're up 8 at halftime. KD's got 10. We come out the second half. He scores 10 the first 2 minutes of the second half. Now all of a sudden we're in a tie game, never scored again. We went back and kind of got back into what we were doing defensively, and they got into playing one-on-one, and the ball never got to KD. So it's a way to make guys play off the bounce. If you only got one point guard, I'm just telling you, against us, it's not going to work. If you got no point guards, like we're playing in the Sweet 16, and Scott Drew, who's a friend of mine at Baylor, he had no point guard. He was playing a two guard at the point all year. And I'm watching film, and everyone at South Carolina is like, oh my God, I can't believe we're in the Sweet 16, but Baylor's so good. They're in it every year. It's the first time we win a game in the tournament in 44 years. It's over. And I'm watching film, I'm saying they got no chance. They got no chance. And the game started, and they had no chance. They played hard, they fought, but they couldn't because of their lack of point guard play. To deal with us, you're going to have a multiple of playmakers that are not going to get caught up with just shooting, because you're going to end up getting tired. It is what it is. That's what we do. That's what we want you to look at. We do all kinds of drills based off our shells to teach guys what we're trying to how we're trying to defend screens. The thought process of, let's say, here's something else. When I coached high school ball, I used to put guys in deny drills, and like real simple, start down there on the block. Start with the ball right here. You two guys step off real quick, okay? Let me get you on offense right there. Okay, you two guys step off real quick. I used to put guys in deny drills like, I'm sorry, bring it from the backcourt. I apologize. Okay? Now you're going to make an L cut to get open. And you cannot drive the ball right now. You got to get the ball to where we can pass it. And I'd make guys deny. And if your man ever caught it, I'd make you run. I'd do that till I was blue in the face. And I'd make centers, everybody do it. I still do. But this is where I adjusted. Once again, late at night, working for Hugs. He says, I used to watch your practices all the time, and I get a kick out of your deal because you don't want the ball in the middle of the floor. I said, absolutely not. That's why we pick it up so high, to get out of the middle. I said, so he said to me, so I'm just curious. If you pick it up that high because you don't want it in the middle, then why the hell do you deny the wing where you want the ball? And I said, God, dog, Hugs, just give me another one. Let me think about this one a little longer. It's Jesus. But at the end of the day, here's where I've changed. You're denying real good players in college. In high school, sometimes you can get away on athleticism or size if the matchup is correct. You're not dealing with that in college. So now what happens is, the rule, I don't make guys run for not denying anymore. The rule is you better make your man catch it facing out of bounds or half court, catch the ball going away from the basket. That way, what happens is, come on, so we're working on our denials, working on our back cut coverage, and you got to keep cutting. You got to learn how to get open. That's the great thing about playing. Here's the thing. I'm a big believer, if you teach your guys how to play fast, you can always adapt to slow down. If you got your guys trained to play slow and you get caught in a game that's a track meet, good luck. You can always slow the game down. It is hard to learn how to get sped up in a game. Hard. So by teaching it this way, you're teaching your offensive guys how to play under duress every day. So when you show up in the game and you're playing a full court pressing, denying, trapping team, your guy, even if you choose to play zone defense in games, your guys are used to playing against that aggression so they don't get sped up. But we still do our denials. And now if you see him open, pass the ball. Here's the deal. We don't go for steals. We do not go for steals. It's not part of what we do. Anytime you go for steals, that's called gambling. I don't know about you guys, but I've never been to a city that's got casinos where the people that are gambling are happier than the people that own the building. So don't gamble. I tell players all the time, the great players of all time have 3 steals a game. The greatest of all time, 3 a game. If you gamble, you're exposing our guys. The idea is to get you to play faster and take bad shots. It's not to come up with steals. So now he was making good cuts. You don't go for the ball. That's not what we teach. We're forcing him to pass the ball over under you, but if he does catch it, we want him to catch the ball facing that way. And as soon as I see the ball in the air, if he throws it to me because I'm in a good deny, then of course. But if he's got me, I don't ever try to run through the ball. As soon as I see the ball in the air, it's just like post defense. I'm coming back and I'm coming to guard the basketball. So when he catches it, I'm sitting right where I belong. Now we have things that we teach guarding the basketball. I like terminologies. Today's youth, they like rap music, rhymes. So I try to teach stuff using rhymes, just because it connects with them. See, we all of us say, well, we're old-fashioned. Young people still want help, man. They ain't looking for old-fashioned. They want help. It's our job to understand how they learn. If we figure out how they learn, then they appreciate the fact, and then they're willing to learn whatever you teach them. So it's what we have to do. We got to figure out a way to connect with them. They're not going to connect with us. I'm 53. We got nothing in common. I listen to Sinatra. I promise you don't know who Sinatra is. But if I go figure out what's important to him and how he learns, then he's going to respect that fact and then be willing to learn what I got to teach. So it's pretty consistent. So we're teaching that denial, catch it that way. The guy on the ball, you're guarding. As soon as that ball's passed, I grew up taught to get to the level of the ball. That's what I grew up learning. When my high school coach realized we had to beat that team, he changed it from that to getting into that gap, because we didn't want that ball to get back over here. So now I don't say jump to the ball, I say sprint to the ball. I don't think anytime the ball's passed, anybody should be jumping. I try to choose the right word so it connects in their heads. Sprint to the ball. He had your gap, now you got his gap. Anytime we're off the ball, I tried every sport imaginable, and I ended up coaching the one that I was pathetic at in basketball. But in boxing, anytime you box, you don't ever get square to your opponent, you're going to get laid out. You got to make sure you turn, and for me it's impossible these days, but you got to get skinny. Why? Because anytime you're off the ball, you're getting ready to get punched. Screen, cut, it's coming. So if you get, I call it belly, if you get belly, now you're a big target for a screen. He cuts, cut. Now what happens? I got to eventually turn my body. So we just stay, and I call it a boxing stance, stay close to the ball. That's my guy, that's the ball. I stay close to the ball, because if they're coming to screen me, for example, if we were in the middle, the ball's on that side and you're going to go screen, or you're going to go screen him, we're both skinny so we can get through screens, okay? If you back cut, I'm in an athletic position to guard the back cut, and my man's got my help there, right there. How do we teach this? I don't want the ball in the middle of the floor. I've seen coaches say no middle and tell this guy to play like that. To each his own. I'm not here to argue that what other people teach is wrong. Jim Boeheim won a national championship playing a 2-3 zone. John Chaney, one of the men that I've respected the most in this business that I met, played a matchup zone and never got out of it. And they've won a million more games than I've ever won. I'm not here to tell people how they should do it. I'm just telling you what works for me. What I teach, the rhyme, crack of your ass to the glass. So anytime you're guarding the ball, the crack of your ass, make sure it's pointing at the glass. Think about what I just told you. Okay, good. Throw my man the ball right here. Bobby, right? Sir. Throw Bobby the ball. Crack of your ass to the glass. You guys aren't guarding the ball. Boxing. Close that stand. The other way. There you go. Throw it to him. Crack of your ass to the glass. Good. So now it gets everyone to understand angles. I believe everything is angles. I'm a math teacher. I can't help myself. Everything's an angle. If you have the wrong angle, you're going to get beat. Everything's an angle. So now, my man, what's your name? Hadith? My man. So now, cracker your ass to the glass. Beautiful. You pointing to that wall. There, you pointing to the wall. There you go. Now, we don't want the ball in the middle. So we need to, like a cheat, if you want to call it that. So, Hadith, I want you to put your nose on his top hip. Which is his top hip? Yeah, but I don't need you to shift your head. Now you're off balance. Shift your whole body over there. No. I didn't say turn sideways. Keep your cracker your ass to the glass. There you go. Now his nose is on the top hip. Now we do everything. Everything we do on the ball defense is angle, have the right angle, and then first step defense. First step defense. I just told our players, we do those defensive stances, and anytime we did this, they make us run. Don't bring your feet together. No one ever told me why not to bring your feet together. I just wouldn't bring my feet together because I didn't want to run, not because I understood. Well, this is the perfect case on ball defense to understand why you don't bring your feet together. So we're guarding the ball. Try and drive the ball. Not drive, just take a dribble somewhere. All right, he went that way. Step with this foot. You're dead. You're dead. You're off balance. He's going right, and you're stepping with the other foot. He's gone. He's putting his shoulder on your hip, and there's nothing you can do. So everything to me is first step defense. Let me give you an example real quick. So we're here. So, go ahead. Hard step right there. And that's what we work on. Anytime we do one-on-one stuff, first step defense, first step defense. You're always trying, here's the one play that you don't recover from, blow by dribbles. If you get beaten off the dribble in a blow by, you're in that I hope they miss defense. I like to play, I'm going to make you miss defense. If we finish a game and we played the whole game with, I hope they miss, I usually go home with a bad headache. When we play a game and I feel that we predicated how the game flowed through our defense, that means we usually played well. That works for us. So that's first step defense. You're in that gap. So now we're working hard at never opening your hips. Because if you ever open either hip, he's gone. He's gone. And now it's a straight line drive. And it's over. And when you play good players, they don't drive around you, they drive through you. And I believe it's my job to prepare players to beat the good ones, not to beat the ones that we beat when we show up. We've had those at every high school, every level of basketball. There's teams that you just got to show up, and if you play halfway decent, you got a chance to win. I believe we got to prepare our guys to beat the real good ones. So that's big on what we do, that first step defense. And now that theory, cracker your ass to the glass, is always when the ball's out of the middle lane, which I call the shoot. The shoot is a step outside the lane, and it goes straight down the court. And we're always fighting to keep the ball out of the shoot. So anytime the ball's outside the shoot, that's what we're doing. Anytime the ball is somewhere in the shoot, we're not playing either hip now. Because now there's two options, and they're both downhill. So now it is plain and simple, square up, put your nose on his belly button, don't open your hips, first step defense, and trust your teammates. That's what we're trying to do anytime the ball's there. Do we have any cones? I want to show you. This is what we do for our shoot drill. Let me get the players. Come on. Let me get all you guys over here. Let me get a guy outside the lane line. One step outside the lane line. Let me get another one. Let me get another one. And let me get one more. Now let me get another group of guys in the same places as them, one step outside the lane line this way. Let me get you two guys, since you two guys ran and took the ball in the backcourt. You two guys. You guys take a step up this way. There you go. Okay? You guys are fine right there. Make sure you guys are even now. You guys right now are acting like cones, but here's what I want you to do. If the offensive guy gets near you, try and steal it from him. The guy on offense, okay? Now this is what we do. We call this the shoot drill. And we make our centers, we make everybody do this. It's our jobs to prepare our guys to defend. Here's what I want you guys to do. Your job is to get by him. But if you can't go outside these guys, and if you go near them, they're going to take the ball from you. Your job is don't reach, don't foul, don't open your hips. Don't assume that they're going to steal the ball. It's your job to make them turn. Now, Bobby, as soon as you two guys shift that way a little bit. You two guys shift to the white line. As soon as you get past those last two guys, it's a one-on-one. You guys understand that? All right? So you know the old zigzag drill? You guys ever done that? I did 9 million of those things. It never helped my guard the ball. You understand that? Now here you're working on the zigzag, the ball in the shoe, making it really hard on him without fouling, without opening your hips, without reaching. Keep them hands away so he can't pass, okay? When you get past the last guy, it's a one-on-one. Can't get the paint, okay? And then if he tries to attack you, don't foul. Keep your chest between the ball and the rim, okay? Let's get a rep. Let's see what it looks like. Good. Help him out. Good, good. Don't open your hips. Don't open your hips. Don't open your hips. Stop. He made that crossover. Were you guys watching? I don't know if you guys are paying attention. Come on, Bob. You did a halfway decent job, and when it got here, then now you said, okay, this crap is live now. He cross over. He went left to right, and you opened your hips. Boom, that guy's gone. Don't open your hips. Fight it. When he crossed over, step here, fight it. Do it again. So now we do this with our whole team. And we do a couple reps. Do one more. Good. Don't open your hips. Don't reach. Don't open your hips. Good. You open your hips again. See, and we rep that. Now, yeah, that's easier on the defender than it is on the offensive guy. But here's what we do then. I need everyone that's in the cone line, take 2 steps backwards. All right, now just switch it, offense and defense. You two guys, same 2. Since you guys did it, you guys are a little looser. Now we got to cover more ground. Now it's the same thing, and we're putting our centers defending guards in this. Here's my other pet peeve as a coach. I don't care if you get beat. Don't ever quit on a play. It's okay to get beat. Don't ever quit on a play. I made one of my last high school team. We were young, immature. I took them to the wrestling room. I made my guys wrestle the wrestlers. Every one of my guys got pinned. And they're like, Coach, but we're not into wrestling. I said, thank God. So you better be a good teammate, because on your own, you're really bad. But here's what I needed them to understand. All you guys got put on your back by wrestlers. Not one of you fought to get off your back. Don't ever, it's okay, man. People get you sometimes. Don't ever quit on a play. Don't ever quit on a play. All right, we're doing the same thing now. Now, Bobby, same thing now. Don't open your hips. Don't reach. Remember, you're thinking, fight my ass off. Don't reach. Now, here's what, as this gets wider, good players start playing harder off the bounce to drive because you're exposing the defense. Here's a teaching point. If the dribbler's going fast, the defender better run fast. If the dribbler's dribbling in tempo, then the defender better be sliding. Understand the difference there. And you just ingrained that in their heads. So if that ball pressure, see, I'm coaching a game and we're out there pressing people and I see him, I don't care how good he is, he says, I'm going to put my head down and fight that pressure by driving it as hard as I can. I'm saying good. I don't care if they score, I'm saying good. And now it's my job to keep adapting our defense and preparing it to take advantage of that. That's what I'm always looking for. So now I want you guys to do the same thing. Now, Bobby, remember now, he's got more space than you did. So if he tries to go at you, don't open your hips, make him loop. But as soon as you see him looping and he's trying to go, you need to sprint and get back inside the ball. And now, same thing, you get too close to these guys, they're going to knock it loose. You got to be good with the ball. Come on, come on, come on. Don't open your hips, don't reach, good. Stay down, fight, run, run, run. You see, Bobby, you stayed on his hip. You stayed on his hip. You got to get back inside the ball as early as you can. Do it again, do it again. Hey, let me get two more guys. Two more guys. Good, good. Come on. Good. Don't foul. That's a foul. See, so now I love guys that play hard, but if you go up there and bump a guy with the dribble, they're going to call a foul. So now we put them, now they're one foul closer or they get 2 free throws. You can't you, hey, listen, I wish they let us play the way they used to. We'd massacre guys, but they call all that crap fouls now. You see what I'm saying? Don't keep your body off the dribbler. You got to pressure the ball without touching them. Come on. Good, good, good. Keep your hips closed. Good, good. Keep going, keep going. Don't open your hips. It's live drip. Good. Stay down. You open your hips. Give them a shot. So we teach our guys. We make them do that over and over and over. Then here's another thing we do. All right, you two guys off. Let me get 2 guys and 2 guys. 2 and 2. Offense between the letter J and O. Offense between the letter S and T. Then I need 2 guys on defense defending them too. I need 2 guys on offense. I need 2 guys on defense. Then I need an offense and defense up here. No, I need my cone guys. Don't go anywhere yet. I need offense and defense here. Same thing. Offense and defense. Who's on offense? Okay. So now, who's on defense down there? On the line, up the line. Look where he's at now. Come on now. There you go. There you go. Now, as he starts getting closer, you guys got to get closer. That's Marcus, don't get belly to me. The other way, should be protecting the paint. There you go. Why don't you go do it? Send Marcus up here. You go do it. Tell Marcus to come up here. Marcus, pay attention to him. You guard him. It's all right, bro. We find guys to defend everywhere. You see? That's what you want to do next time you're up. All right? So now you guys are in line up the line. You're up there guarding the ball. So now you're going to try. Same drill. Same drill. I got a feeling you're not going to be able to just go shoot a layup because they got guys now. So once he gets the ball, our best moments in practice, anytime our practice is dragging, which happens to everybody, I make our best 2 players defend each other on the half-court line. Our best 2 guards defend each other on the half-court line. Because then that's where it all starts here. If your 2 best, most competitive players go against each other, everyone else follows. Here's another thing I don't believe in. I don't believe in protecting your best player defensively. Because if he don't defend, then it permeates to the rest of your team, and then they don't defend. And if he plays lazy, then he's going to pick up cheap fouls. Make your best player guard. You're doing him a disservice if you don't teach him how to guard. I think anyone that's ever been around the game and succeeded understands that. The greatest players of all time, I'm not going to argue who's the best, Jordan, but I'm not going to argue, but whoever the best ones of all time are, you know what they did? They guarded. They defended. All these guys, I've yet to meet a 19-year-old in the last 10 years that doesn't think of playing in the NBA. I got no problem with that. If you can't defend your matchup, you got no chance. 0. So you have to guard. So teach your guys to guard. Don't protect them. I get it. He's got 2 fouls. You're going to get them play zone. I get all that. But you got to, in practice, make him guard. So now here's what you guys are going to do. When he gets that ball somewhere in here, you guys are still in line. You're just going to be a little closer. Now I need you guys, you can't cross the floor. I need you guys to get open to the wings. I need you to make one pass or drive it to the rim. You understand that? If you make one pass, if it's a complete pass, stop. Don't do anything, okay? Let's try it. Let's see what we get. Don't open your hips. Don't open your hips. Don't open your hips. You got to guard. You got to guard. All right, stop right there. You see, if we were in a practice right now, I'd be saying to you, why'd you let him get it? How'd he get open? Because you did a great job of helping him. You did a great job of helping him. You did a great job of never opening your hips. So the first pass, Bob McKillop, I spent 18 days with him in Russia. As good a coach as I've ever been around, head coach at Davidson. He's got a saying, offensively, we want to make our first pass easy. If the first pass is easy, we got a chance of getting a good shot. So defensively, we want to make your first pass hard. So it allows us to be aggressive behind that pass defensively, okay? So you guys did your jobs. You just made, help me out again. Hadith. You made him make his first pass from here. If you would have stayed above the body, not let him get in your body, because you were there, that's why he couldn't drive it. Now you can deny, or secondly, his catch now is going to be further out or further up. But now when he caught it, he was doing that, so you did that part right. And now you're guarding, crack of your ass to the glass, nose, top hip. Okay? That's not bad, that's not bad. So now, come on. You made the pass kind of from there. You're flying, Marcus, right? You're flying, sprinting into that guy. Oh, you're not in line. He's going to throw it right to me. That's unacceptable because he's getting back cut if you let that ball get through. There you go. And you're letting him know. We put this other line in practice every single day from the front of the rim with tape all the way to the front of the rim down there, straight down the middle of the court. As a teacher, I'm a parent. I was a teacher, obviously been coaching forever. The worst word that anyone can ever use with anybody is dumb. If you ever refer to somebody as being dumb, you're probably going to have a hard time teaching or coaching that person. That's like a real nasty word. If anyone ever called my son dumb, that's the last day my son would ever play or be in that classroom. That's not a good word. You use all the other words you want, I don't care. Don't use dumb when you're dealing with young people. You're trying to teach them. It's your job to teach them. So we put that line and we tell our guys, anytime the ball's out of the chute, if the ball's on that side of the floor and your man's on this side of the floor, you better get to the dumbass line. Now we're in practice and I'll look at the guys and the ball be here. Stay out wide. Marcus, stay. No, not Marcus, I'm sorry. Cam, stay like right there. We'll be at practice and I'll stop. Say, Cam, what we doing, man? Where you supposed to be? And he says, oh, yeah. I said, dude, if you don't get there, you know what that makes you? He's like, no, I'm not a dumb. So he gets to the line. So it's real simple. You put that line there, now it's a teaching tool. So Cam understands. Now, even if you're 2 passes removed, you're still like a boxer. Think about what I said. Here's what happens. He plays like this. If you're denying that pass, any coach is going to tell him, don't stand there. He's going to say back cut. Stay like, So now if you're like this, now you got to react. Too late. You're dead. Or he's going to say screen away. So now you got this big old body that you're getting ready to like knock. If you stay skinny, you do a lot better job at that than me, okay? If you stay skinny and they're trying to screen you, there's less of your body to screen. Now teaching, here's my football days. I don't want that lineman to grab me. I don't want the screener to grab me. You have the right as a player for this space. You can't punch, you can't swing, but you have the right to have your hands, elbows bent, your hands in your space. That is your cylinder. So anytime we're playing a team that's going to screen us, let me show this real quick. Come screen. I'm here and I am bang right there. Has anyone ever been hit in the sternum? It stops you in your tracks. You put the palm of your hand right in that guy's sternum and he will not get in your body. I don't care how big he is. So now here he comes, and then remember, we want long passes. We always go ball side. You can't let him dribble middle. Why? Let's talk about something different. So you hit the wing, come set a flare. If you let him drive middle, now that flare's in play. So you don't let him drive middle. So you know what? You don't have to worry about chasing flares because the flare is not in play because you're going to force a long pass. Long passes give your defense a chance to get back where they belong. Short passes make it really hard. That's the whole thought process. We got different, we got all kinds of things that we do to defend the different screens that exist. This coming year, I like our team, our depth, our athleticism, and we return everybody but two. So we got a chance to be real good defensively. So I'm going to extend our man-to-man, not necessarily to trap, but to get you to have to play faster. So anytime there's a dead ball, what I was just showing you, we're going to do it the length of the court. We practice it, but I'm going to start using it in games. So in essence, I'm slipping here today. Hit Cam with the ball. So let's say you're defending him. If you're a two-guard front team against a press, we're going to have two guys all up in you over there. If you're a one-guard front, then just space the floor. I just need total of 10 guys, 5 on offense, 5 on defense. There's 2 there, so I need 8 more. So you're playing a pressing team. Hey, you're playing a pressing team. Kind of space it on offense the way you would against a press. Okay, let's say that's how they... All right, so everybody get on the line, up the line. Everybody get on the line, up the line. Now, don't go too far. Look where he's at. Now you're on the other side of the line. There you go. Why are you so deep? Are you in or out? 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, the media, as you guys know, is incredible. They're tremendous. They're so smart. It's unbelievable. They ask me every year, like, hey, you're recruiting all these different guys. You only got 13 scholarships. I always tell them, listen, as a math teacher, a requirement was to count to 13. So we'll figure that part out. We need to have 10 guys. So we can't have 8, 10. The game's played with 10, okay? So now you're guarding. Everyone's in the line. Why are you so close to him? You worried about your man. I'm worried about them, not him. There you go. So now, I don't know you. I don't know what you're good at or bad at. But if I put these defenders like this, do you feel better about pressing the ball? Now, if I told all of them to go stand below their man, what would you say? Oh, this just got really hard. Would you agree? So that's why this is what we want people to see. So we're going to look to do this to wear on you and just wear your guards down. We got multiple guards, athletic and long this year. Last year we had 7 guys. So in the games, we practiced all this, but in the games I had to manage the game, played more zone, play some kind of matchup man-to-man, which drove me crazy, but somehow, some way we became a good team at the end of the year. This year we're going to really, really be aggressive. So we do all kinds of drills. I showed you the shoot drill. To prepare for if we're dealing with a 2-guard front, take a side. If we're dealing with a 2-guard front, I'm not a big trapping, I don't trap a lot as a coach. One of the few times I trap is if you've got a guy that we're playing DJ Augustine, and after 2 he makes 3. Okay, DJ, I know you're good, and you got it going. I got to get it out of you today. Okay, so then we'll trap him. But for the most part, I'm not a big trapping team. We might trap some this year because of our personnel, but same thing, in the line. Get in that line. Your man's there. Get between your man and the ball. Now get a little closer to the ball. Not too much. There you go. All right, so now look how far. There you go. Be aggressive. There you go. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Listen, no one ever gets anywhere being passive. You don't get better you don't get better in the weight room if you keep bench pressing 130 pounds. If you keep squatting 85 pounds. Eventually, you got to get underneath real weight. And you got to challenge yourself every day so you can move real weight. Same way on the court. You're not going to get better if you're passive and defensive. That's why we practice. Get aggressive. Get it out of your system in practice. Gain confidence in practice. So now, your rules are no different. You're cracking your ass to the glass. Now, in the back court, we don't play the ball in the sideline, get sideways. When we're extend, you're always trying to make him turn, the zigzag drill. That's why we do the shoot drill from the back court, trying to make him turn. You're staying in that passing line, helping your man out. Now, if he tries to drive it middle, which is our rule anytime you drive us, wherever you're at, we call it selling out. Anytime you drive the ball middle, it can be here or it can be up in the front court. The next person sells out. You don't give up the middle. I'm asking you to press. It's hard as heck to press and keep guys out of certain areas without changing your hip angle, okay? So if he's trying to go that way and you're turning him and he crosses you over and comes hard, you're flying. Bad angle. He's coming. You're not going to beat him by going at him. Angle, boom, get in front of the ball. I'm not into trapping that. Some people are. It's an automatic rotation. He's taking yours, and you're going to jump and take his. And we practice that on a 2-guard front all the time. All the time. It's over and over. We call it 2-on-2 full. Then we do 2-on-2 full. You 2 guys step out. You 2 guys step out. Then we say 3-on-3 full, and we only put 1 guy back here. And now it's that 2-guard front, and we're working on those running jumps with the 3rd man back here, working on being up the line. Then we say 4-on-4 full, and we'll add the 4th man. So you 2 guys get in. And now when we get to 4-on-4 full, we'll say, hey, we're working on our flare screens today. So it's a matter of attacking you defensively without gambling, to wear you down, to get you where you don't want to, you're not trying to make entry passes from up here. I'll be in practice, and my assistant, Bruce Schingler, who's over here, I get on him all the time. You got to have a coach assigned to make sure that battle with the guys on the ball is always going on. Good guards on offense play right here. Good defenders on the guard, don't let him play there. Want him to play on the sideline or the half-court line. See, I believe in one of the biggest reasons I believe in extending the defense to the half-court line, this is your teammate. This is your teammate. That's your teammate. Take advantage of those lines to get people to get closer to your teammates. So it's a big reason we do that. So when we say 4-on-4 full, and I might say, we're trying to attack it. Let's say you get beat hard up the sideline. We never help up. So when we put these 4-on-4 and 3-on-3, we're working. Get to the sideline. Go back. I forgot to teach this. So now I'm up the line. There's a loose dribble. I can't go this way. He's going to pass it over my head to him. Now we're in trouble. So now I got to as soon as I see jailbreak, I got to mess with him, stunt, make him think I'm coming, but I'm protecting here. And you never, ever run on his hip. You're fighting to get back over here. So now what happens if he had crossed the half-court line? Oh, cracker your to the what? To the glass. There you go. See what I'm saying? You don't want him going back to the middle. Nose on his top hip. What's his top hip? There you go. No, you open your hips. You open your hips. Help him out there. Let me see if you guys were listening. There you go. And now put his nose on his top hip. There you go. So right away, you see, that's another thing as a coach. It's your responsibility to make your players understand where they're at on the court. That's a huge responsibility as a player, is to know where you're at. If you need people to tell you that you're out of bounds, then you're not a very good player. As a player defensively, you know when that ball's around that half-court line without having to look on the court. That's you play the game. You have to have a feel for that. As a coach, you got to get your players to understand that. So then we're right back in it. So you protected that pass. If for some reason, go further back. It's a complete jailbreak. Get past them, start getting in the middle. All right, stop. All right, now anytime that happens, we're never running to the ball. Because as soon as you commit one of these back line guys to the ball's getting behind you, and now you're in trouble where it matters, which is at the basket. You two guys are immediately, it's like transition defense. You're sprinting back, getting in a tandem. And you better be talking. One's got the ball, one's got the hole. And then whatever rules you want to teach your guys on your tandem. And you never, remember what I said, it's okay to get beat, don't ever quit. Now you're working your tail off to tap it from behind or get back inside. Now he got beat, there's no more deny. We're all protecting. Correct. So we're all trying to protect. That's what we're trying to do. But that's, in a nutshell, if you see us play this year, you're probably going to see, if you've seen us play before, you're going to see us extend our defense more than I have in the past. And it's because, it's not that we don't do it in practice, is that in the game, all that sounds good, but if you only got 7 guys you can put in the game, you're going to wear them down. We're going to have 11 or 12 guys that I think we can play, so I've got to figure out a way to play them. You know, one thing as a high school coach, I used to love college guys come in to recruit my guys. Oh, Frank, he's tremendous. I love him. I think he's going to help us win. Kid goes to school there, he never gets in a game. Then you call, like, yo, I'm not asking you to play him. I just want to make sure he's doing what he's supposed to do. If he's not, tell me so I can help. He's like, Frank, he's going to be good. He's just not ready. Well, why didn't you tell me that when you were recruiting him? So it's my job to figure out a way, if guys are ready to go, tell them, then I got to figure out a way to play them. That's why I like playing like this. It creates depth. It creates competition. If you only play 7 guys, what are guys number 10, 11, and 12 doing by January? They're like done. They're tired of practicing and they never get in a game. Now you have an ankle sprain and you got to play a guy that you haven't played, and then we always say, oh, he's inexperienced. Well, that's my fault as a coach. I got to figure out a way to get him experience. So that's why I like playing this way. That's why we believe in playing guys, so we can have our whole team prepared. And then obviously it's a lot of teaching, a lot of one-on-one, a lot of 2-on-2. We got 2-on-2 on the side. We got 2-on-2 wide. We got 3-on-3 on the side. And then what I do with the shell drill, this is what I was trying to tell you guys earlier, then I'm going to let you ask me some questions. Play in a corner. Play in a corner. Play in a high slot. Play in a high slot. This is how most teams are playing, because everyone's in the spread pick and roll now. It's like the new wave. Let's just everybody spread pick and roll. So this is how everybody wants to play now. This is the spacing. Well, back in the day, I need you two guys, take a step towards me. Get foul line extended. Foul line extended. Back in the day, everybody played like this, or they played point, 2 wings for the 2 big guys with the high-low stuff. I teach it all every different way. I teach our shell 3-on-3, point, 2 wings. I teach shell like this. When people try to attack us by lifting us because of ball pressure, driving us baseline. If they can't get us in the middle ball screen, then they try to lift us. They don't care how they do it. They want to get the ball to the side, lift us, and drive us to the baseline. That's what they try to do to us. So I got to prepare my guys. So we'll do this to learn how to protect that baseline, how we rotate. But now almost everybody is exclusively, go to the corner, is playing something like this. So I would do shell drill. If you're playing teams in your league that play like this, I would do our shell something like this. just so you prepare your players for the spacing that they're going to deal with when they're on the court defending. And at the end of the day, the game is simple. On offense, you're trying to get the ball in the paint. To get it in the paint, you got to either throw it in the post, you got to cut, or you got to drive. There's no other way to get it in the paint. Post defense, you protect it by denying, by making people catch it further out. Now you don't worry about the ball being caught in the paint. Cutting and driving, now it's how you defend on the perimeter. So they're trying to get the ball between two defenders, and defensively you're trying your tail off to protect your gaps so they can't get the ball between two defenders. In a nutshell, that's what we try to do. And then we're big on forcing long passes. See, this is the pass. Come up some. Get in that gap right there. Okay? Direct pass. Hit him. Bang. Turn it. Bang. Bang. Stop. Now that guy's exposed. So you can't be a deny team. Tony Bennett, a dear friend, just won a national championship. He don't deny anybody. They play 4 guys in the paint defensively. That's what I'm saying. There's different ways of doing it. You got to pick whatever. Here's what I will, any advice I ever give any coach that ever asks me. Teach what you know. Teach what you're passionate about. Don't teach what works for somebody else. If you try to teach your players how you saw someone play on TV, my man right here is going to say to me, what if they do this? If I can't give them a clear and decisive answer, he's saying, this guy got no idea what he's doing. We can't do this. You have to make sure that you take ownership of that moment. And that's why I say teach what you're comfortable in and teach what you have passion for. That's the way you want your teams to play. That's why you hear that saying almost every, I don't care whether it's a high school, a junior college, when there's a good team playing, say he's got the personality of his coach. That's because that's what that coach teaches. And that coach knows the ins and outs of what he's trying to teach. Any questions?
How do you defend baseline penetration? Like 4 out, 1 in?
Like that hammer stuff that Chris was talking about earlier? Drive baseline? Yeah, put the ball here. All right, so we're playing in the game, and the ball, see, anytime the ball's on the sideline, it's either a middle drive or a baseline drive. If the ball's in the slot, it's not a baseline drive, even if he goes that way. That's a middle drive. He's in the middle of the floor. But the ball's on the sideline, and he goes middle, and my man makes a mistake, or he just gets beat. We're selling out. That's what we do on middle drives. If he goes baseline, this is where I've changed. I've never, let me get a 5th guy. Let me get a big right here. No, you stay where you're at. Come on. You're on D. You're on offense. White's on offense, you stay on offense. So now, if he drives baseline, I've never believed. Come on. I've never believed in helping from the strong side. I just don't believe in it. Especially the way the game's changed, because what they do is now they run this guy behind. You just saw Chris teaching it. They put their shooter there, bait you to help, run him behind, throw it to him, shoots it. If he don't shoot it, now you got to rotate. So now you're on dead rotations, and you're going to get beat on a closeout. Or you're going to be late, and they're going to stick a 3. So I used to always help from the weak side. I've always believed in that. Go back to the sideline. So when that ball's being driven to the baseline, my man stays home. He stays home. Now here's where I've changed. I used to help with the low man. And we teach it. We're on that dumb line. We're in a stance. As soon as I see his face or his numbers, I'm not thinking, I'm committing. And you got to drill it. If I don't see his face or his numbers, I'm making him think, making him see me so he's not as aggressive. But if I can see his face or his numbers, you never quit on the ball. I'm flying over there. And now you basically, in essence, are trying to trap it, if you can, outside the paint. Stays home. That's what I used to help with. I went to work for Hugs, and he said, Frank, we lost. I don't know if he spoke about it yesterday or not. He said, we lost in North Carolina, in the Final Four when he was at Cincinnati, that's where I worked for him at Cincinnati and K-State. He said, because we helped with the big. In North Carolina, Jimmy Black kept shooting and missing, and they had a plethora of 7-foot guys getting backside rebounds, and I was yelling at my guys, come rebound. Make believe you're a 6'10" guy. You're the guard. Sink. And he's like, I was yelling at my backside guy, man, you got to box him out. You're not winning that fight. You're not winning that fight. So he changed, and when I went to work for him, I've changed. So what do? We drill it. Let's say go back to where we started. Let's say you're the big, right? He's a big. You're playing with a big over there in the corner. You're playing with the guard lifted. That's what teams do to us. As soon as he puts his head down, you got to go. You got to go. And now you're protecting. You're getting to the level of the ball. You're getting as big as you can. So if he takes a pull-up shot, now you're getting, we call it first blood. Who makes first contact, that's who wins the rebounding battle. You get first blood so you can get that backside rebound. You can't stay out. We committed to help. You got to sink in the paint. So now you stay home. Just jamming up the whole passing lane in here if he chooses to stay there. Okay? First pass out. That's your pass. You get back to yours, you get back to yours. So we try to help with a guard on the baseline drive. I shouldn't say we try. We will help with a guard. When we're trying is like in about 3 weeks when we start doing this, we'll be trying. By January, we'll be helping with a guard. Yes, sir. Yes, the guy that sinks, whichever guard didn't help, that's sinking into the middle of the paint, he's always got first pass out. Here's something else. I got a 20-year-old son. I shouldn't say this because I'm on a microphone, but I can't help myself. That son don't talk. He don't talk. I'm like, dude, you're my son. How do you not talk? It's just today's day and age. If you don't make them talk, they won't talk. Well, I tell him, I said, you got bad luck. You happen to call me dad. Anytime you're around me, I'm going to make you talk. I'm the same way with our players. And my rule is, anytime you say something, you say it 3 times. Because you know what happens? In today's day and age, you guys are all 18 to 23. Is that somewhere in there? They're not used to talking as much as we did when I was a kid. So if you're not used to talking, guess what else you're not used to doing? Listening. We always want to say you got to be a great listener. Well, no one talks. Who are you listening to? So we have to make sure that we force them to communicate. So I say it 3 times. And then I tell them to repeat. So let's say you drove baseline. And who helped baseline? Say, I got your help. Who was helping? Go. Wherever you were at. I got help, I got help, I got help. Say it 3 times. Soon as they hear, I got help, they know we're being attacked. I got your help, I got your help, I got your help. So now throw it out to that guy, that guy. I got ball. To make sure there's no confusion. So we're big on that. And I'm relentless in practice on those things. Relentless in practice on those things. Yes, sir. As an assistant coach, your role is to help your head coach and to do what he needs you to do. I worked for a head coach, my first college job, that didn't want any assistants saying a word in practice. I can complain. He's the one that gave me a job. Why'd I go work for him? You understand what I'm saying? My job is to be loyal to him and support him. Hugs was the other way. He wants coaches to coach. So when I had the big guys or I had a certain drill, that's where I've got to make sure I put my voice and my passion into it. But when he was in control, it's my job to just kind of get back and teach. But then it's also, if you got too quiet, he'd walk by you and he'd say, "Are you going to get off your ass and help me today or what? So you got to understand who you're working for. I'm not a big believer in that good cop, bad cop deal. You know how many voices these guys have in their heads in today's day and age? They got a workout guy, they got a trainer, they got an AAU guy, they got an old AAU guy, they got a high school coach, they got the assistant, they got the uncle, they got the grandma who played back in 1950 that's trying to tell them how they should play. They got social media and they're on their phones just like you and I are 24 hours a day. They got too many voices in their heads. So that good cop, bad cop stuff, no, we're all should be engaged trying to teach, because if you don't, they're going to listen to somebody. Don't get mad when they don't listen to you. So, but your job as an assistant is to be loyal and support what your head coach needs. And I've worked for a guy that didn't want us talking. He gave me a job. What I was going to do, criticize him? No, I met with him. I'd be like, Coach, I want to help you. You're helping me. Just keep doing what you're doing. My loyalty to him is telling him the truth when I met with him, not by being disgruntled in practice every day. Does that make sense? Yes, sir. Like when they drove a baseline down there? Uh-huh. Yo, put it by the letter N and T right, and help. Go down there and help. Yes, sir. The guy that helped always has that pass. Once he commits to this side of the floor, he's got this side of the floor. No. The guy on the baseline that helped. Once that guy on the baseline helped, go help. Put the ball on the baseline. Put the ball on the baseline. Throw the skip. You got to get to the ball. Stop. See what I mean? That's his man. That's his man. Once he committed to help, he's on this side of the floor. He's responsible for that side of the floor. Now, we do a drill. We call it 4-on-4 plus 1. If we're playing a team that plays through the post, the plus 1, meaning the guys on offense have 5, is a post guy. If we're playing a spread pick and roll team that has a dominant point guard, then the guy that's unguarded is the point guard. And it's forcing 4 guys to guard 5, so they're constantly talking and rotating to make sure that they get to that next pass. And I call those jailbreaks. Anytime somebody comes at us and we're outnumbered, we're fighting for all that. Oh, it's my rotation. No, it's next man up. Go get the ball and everybody else protect. Does that make sense? And it's our jobs as coaches to differentiate what's a jailbreak and what's not. Let's start it right here. I need an unguarded player. Unguarded player taking the ball out of bounds right here. Unguarded. That means you're on offense and all your only job. Yep, white's on D. So I need a guy in the black jersey. The only thing you're doing is passing the ball in. Once you pass it in, you're out of the drill. So they're not defending you. Don't turn the ball over, okay? This is how I started. Once we get to 4-on-4, it's how I started. Once you get in your season, I would adapt it to whoever you're playing against, how they deal with pressure. Just to teach, like in 3 weeks, this is how we would do it. You're on offense, right? Black's on offense. Get the sideline, get just past the half-court line. Just past the half-court line to the sideline. All right, let me get a guard in the elbow, and I need 2 on defense. I don't believe in fronting because I don't put a guy on the ball. If we put a guy, we're in our trapping defense, we put a guy on the ball, then we can be a little more aggressive, okay? Excuse me, I don't play a center fielder. When I put a guy on the ball, we don't have a center fielder, so we don't want to get beat long. That's our trapping defense, is when we're a little bit more aggressive. When we're in our normal man, what I teach is, same deal, on the line, up the line. Well, the ball's there, he's there, and there is a lot of room to cover that way, so I can't be off the body. I've got to be in the body. I stole this from Bob McKillop. He calls it push deny. Now you got to adjust to the officials. Sometimes they call this, so you got to be careful. Is you put your forearm on his waist, you put your back foot right behind him, and you're denying right here. What you're telling him is you're not catching the ball here and you're not beating me long. You got to go there to catch the ball. If he makes an aggressive cut, don't go for a steal. Go guard. If he makes a weak cut, go deny him. Don't let him catch it. That's what we try to do. And you guys do the same thing over there. Now, if the ball's being inbounded over there, you're kind of off his body just a little bit. But you cannot get beat deep. Anytime we're in our full court man, we're trying to take advantage of 94 feet. We're not letting them play over our heads from the out-of-bounds pass, okay? Now, here's what I want you guys to do. The guys on offense, you cannot screen. You can't cross the floor. You can get open this way or you can run that way. I don't care. You two guys back there, you guys can't cross the floor. You can go deep or you can come up. I don't care. Guys back there, if they come up, you better not let them catch it. You guys understand that? Better not let them catch it. Now, once the ball comes in bounds, let me explain something real quick. Boom. You're done, okay? Now, remember what we said in the back court. You're trying to press without fouling, shoot drill. You're making them turn. You get in that line. Your rule right now, I'm teaching two-guard front. Your rule is when he has the ball, don't go deep. Stay right there. It's our shell. Now, eventually, we get later in the year, depending on how people do it, then we'll cut people out of there, so we're working with cutters. Like, people will cut him out and flash him, so we're dealing with the cut and the flash. So we're denying that stuff, okay? In the line, and now you got a live dribble. If you see his face and his chest, sell out. Good angle, sell out. Don't run to his chest. Nuh-uh, you're running to him. Don't run to him. There's that gap. You're getting in here. And now they just attacked us, right? So here's the other point. Anytime people attack you off the bounce, you can't recover to deny. You're vulnerable. I don't know about you, but I used to work in a bar, and when that hit the fan, I found the corner so I can fight out of the corner. I didn't want to go to the middle of the bar and get hit in the back of the head. You understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of the same deal. They attacked us. You don't want to run all the way to his chest over here, and you're being attacked. You got to go get in that gap. See what I'm saying? Because now we're trying to find that corner so we can keep everything in front of us. And when we settle it back down, then we can get aggressive again. If he dribbles up the sideline, you're trying to turn him, don't let him pass it to him. Now remember, you guys can't switch sides. Okay? Now here's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to go back and forth. Throw it back over here. Throw it back over here. Boom, go guard him. Now you try and drive him. Get in his gap. Help him out. If he's not beat, he's in front of the ball, you stunt and stay. Let him turn him again. If he's beat, you got to sell out, okay? If the ball ever gets between these two guys, what do you two guys do? You better fly into that tandem and talk. You two guys, they beat you, right? Don't quit. They beat you. It's all cool. Try and tap it from behind. Get in that tandem. Try and tap it from behind. If you can, great. If you can't, no big deal. Don't give up the three. That's what we're trying to work on. See, we spend so much time telling guys, don't get beat, but we don't teach them how to play when they do get beat. So when they get beat, we tell them, so you can't get beat. When they get beat, they get deflated because they got pride. You're making them practice hard. So they drop their shoulders. As soon as they drop their shoulders, that possession's done. They got to learn how to play even when one of our guys gets beat. All right, let's go. Let's do that live. Now, if you can't speed him up, he just dribbles it up under control. It's his clock, not ours. So now you made them eat 8 seconds of the shot clock, and they just got it across the line. Okay? Just run. You guys, can you guys run a pin down screen? You know what I'm talking about? So if the ball's on this side, just go to the corner and go set a pin down over there. If he's got the ball, you go to the corner, we're going to set a pin down for you. Okay? Let's try that real quick. All right, hey, I know you guys have been sitting around and I've been talking a lot and I'm making you go live. Try and give it what you got, okay? Try and give it what you got. Come on. All right, stop. See, we were in practice right away. I said, why you let them get it so easy? Yes, sir. It's too easy. I want to make the game as hard as possible for the other team. I know this. The real good players, they don't like people. Did you guys see that video when that one guy played at Kentucky? He scores. It's ridiculous how good he is. But they were playing a pickup game. They doubled him. He got all pissed off. You guys see that video? The good players don't like it when you make them uncomfortable. They don't like it. But now you got to have the will to make them uncomfortable. And I like to make people uncomfortable. Okay, come on. Let me get out of the way before you guys get me to tear my ACL for the 59th time. Go ahead, come on. Good, don't grab. Good, get in that gap. Good, turn them, don't reach. Stay in that line, don't reach. Stop. Come on, get the ball over here. Get the ball right here. Get right here. You were right there. You see, that's court recognition. That ball was right on that half-court line somewhere. I don't know if he had crossed it or not, but he had him on that side of the floor. So now you just made them work really hard to get the ball to that spot. You opened your hips to the middle. That's court recognition. We do another drill. We call it one-on-one full on the side. We do zigzag. So they're zigzagging on the side, and as soon as that guy with the ball gets to that half-court line, it's one-on-one. So that guy defensively has the feel, I'm somewhere in that half-court line, I'm going to keep him in that box, which is that sideline right there. Does that make sense? So in essence, what I'm trying to tell you right now is as soon as he got it somewhere in this area, you should have been cracking your ass to the glass, nose on the top hip. There you go, without opening your hips. Get in that gap. See, now defensively, your guard just went to the sideline. So now my guys off the ball, they know us. They're like, oh, we got this guy. And now we can get ultra aggressive because we got the ball out of the middle of the floor. And now he can get up here and deny really hard. And now my man over here, because he's so far to the half-court line, he can be further up that line, and he's letting them know. What's his name? Huh? You're saying it as loud as you can, bro. We're playing in the gym in front of 20,000 people, man. He can't hear you. You say, yo, Deef. Yo, Deef, I got your back, man. I got your back. I'm in line. So now he's saying, oh, he got me? And now you're calling his name and say, yo, keep it over there. I got you. And it creates an unbelievable enthusiasm and trust. At the end of the day, we're human beings, man. We're trying to succeed. To succeed, we know we got to be with people we trust. If you got to be looking over your shoulder, you're not going to succeed. So we create that environment on our team because of effort and discipline that they learn to trust each other. That, in a nutshell, I don't want to make these guys go wall to wall right now, but that's what we're trying to get done. Any more questions? Yes, sir. I don't. Do we teach some transition defensive stuff? Like on offense, I believe offensive rebounding. We shot it. It's our ball. It's not your ball. It's our ball. It's your ball when you get it. So we'll send 3 to the glass, and then our 2 guards. In high school, I used to put them in the half-court line. I put those 2 guards now at the slots. One here, one there. And you know, we do all kinds of stuff from it, like to stop the ball. Obviously, somebody drives the ball, your stuff's a little differently, but we're really aggressive on the offensive glass, which gets people to slow down. Gets people to slow down because we're coming every time. So you can't get leak outs consistently. Hey, do we get a run out on us every once in a while? Yes. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the 18 offensive rebounds we're going to get. That's going to put you in foul trouble. That's going to get you tired. That's going to make you have to stay in there and not leave. But do we have rules in our transition stuff? Yes. And it's all numbers. That's where I was talking about earlier, jailbreaks. It's all numbers. If it's me by myself, I'm running into that hole protecting the basket. If I see the ball coming and it's me and another guy, we're yelling tandem. And one of us is saying ball, the other one's saying hole. If it's 3 of us, we're yelling triangle. And we're triangle, triangle, triangle. And now we're getting in a triangle, box, box, point. And we're just trying to hold the fort down so we can survive that possession as everybody else gets back. Anytime you're attacking us, we're not going to deny. Anytime you're being attacked, you're on survival mode. You should be hunkering down, trying to survive that possession. But we do all kinds of stuff in transition. But at the end of the day, our aggression on offense keeps people out of running on us. But do we practice it? Yes. Do we have rules? Yes. Truth be told, if the two guys that play at Kentucky get loose in a 2-on-1 against us, we're probably not winning that possession. So let's try and keep it 5-on-5, 2-on-2, 3-on-3 as much as we can. I got to go catch a flight. If I can ever help, my email's on our website at South Carolina. Shoot me a note. Anything I can do. I respect the heck out of what you guys do every day. If any of you guys know Bruce, he's got my information. You can track me down through Bruce. But anything, any way, shape, or form that we can help anybody, that's what we're here for. Thank you for your time.